Our city skylines are transforming, with glass dominating the new architectural language. Glass buildings are expected to symbolize innovation, transparency, and a connection to the world outside. However, right from the towering offices to our homes, glass just offers bright light, which we tend to avoid. Panoramic views of the man-made landscape, just a superficial sense of openness. In corporate spaces, glass facades are bluntly used to project modernity. In homes, they add glory and style to our spaces. But what do they really do to our buildings? This shift has redefined our expectations, moving from solid, meaningful enclosed structures towards fluid, transparent, yet non-interactive spaces which can be better controlled by us. Glass is now a hallmark of luxury and progress, reshaping cityscapes into glittering canyons of steel and glass reflections. But this trend is more than style. It's about our craving for authority and a human-dominated environment. The glass revolution claims a healthier lifestyle but is deeply tied to our aspirations for gaining command over nature. Windows in their earliest forms were quite small. They served as practical openings to interact with the surrounding environment while still staying between the thick, gigantic walls. Primarily, they were designed to bring in adequate light and proper air circulation across the structure. These weren't designed blindly for expansive views in multiple directions, although they played some role in surveillance and leisure, mostly based on interaction between humans, birds, or other natural elements. As technology advanced and manufacturing processes became more sophisticated, windows grew larger, more ornate, and far more expressive, reflecting the architectural styles of the time. They became statements of wealth and taste. Windows were no longer just functional necessities. They were becoming key architectural features, integral to the overall design and aesthetic of a building. Even the Industrial Revolution played a pivotal role, enabling the mass production of materials. This included glass and metal frames, which were now readily available and more affordable than ever before. This newfound accessibility freed architects to create bigger and bolder openings, pushing the boundaries of design and construction. The modernist movement took this concept even further, embracing simplicity and functionality. Architects began turning entire walls into glass, aiming to blur the lines between interior and exterior spaces. But this radical shift accidentally redefined the window's role, transforming it from an interactive opening to a merely dominant architectural element. Today, sleek glass curtain walls dominate city skylines, reflecting the sky and the surrounding environment. These expansive glass facades have largely replaced traditional windows, with their individual frames and distinct character. The result is daunting, seamless surfaces that tended to promise a sense of openness and transparency now just tend to become monotonous barriers shielding out wind and rain, just capturing all the broad daylight and accumulating it as heat. We've lost some of the nuanced ways in which windows once shaped our experience of space and our connection to the outside world. The historical window, with its intricate detail, operable sashes and tactile hardware, offered a unique sensory experience. This has largely been replaced by sealed glass panels, often fixed in place and offering little opportunity for interaction. We've gained openness and expansive views, but we've also lost centuries of accumulated wisdom and craftsmanship in window design and construction. This wisdom encompassed not only aesthetics, but also practical considerations of comfort, ventilation, and connection to the environment. The journey from the small protective window to the expansive glass wall is undoubtedly a triumph of engineering and material science, but it also presents a challenge for meaningful and engaging interactions that connect us to the world around us. Expansive glass facades have become a striking feature of architecture, gracing skyscrapers and office buildings alike. These shimmering surfaces promise a connection to the outside world. The allure is undeniable, creating a vibrant and energizing atmosphere. Studies have shown that natural light can significantly boost mood and productivity, making it a highly desirable element in any workspace. But these vast expanses of glass present a significant challenge of excessive solar heat, transforming buildings into virtual greenhouses. This influx of solar energy leads to a dramatic increase in indoor temperatures, forcing a greater reliance on energy-intensive air conditioning systems to maintain a comfortable environment. This creates a paradox situation where our desire for glass facade inadvertently leads to increased energy consumption and potential discomfort. We build with glass, driven by the promise of openness and a connection to the environment, only to find ourselves sealing ourselves inside artificially cooled spaces, effectively negating the intended benefits. Glare is another significant issue that arises from extensive glazing. Too much direct sunlight creates uncomfortable and distracting glare, making it difficult to work or even relax in these spaces. In response, we often resort to covering windows with blinds or shades, effectively blocking the natural light and losing the very benefits we initially sought. The dream of light-filled transparency ends up opaque. The hallmark of modern design often clashes with the harsh reality of overheating, excessive glare, and overall discomfort for the occupants. We're constantly caught between our innate desire for expansive views and natural light, and the practical need for thermal comfort, glare control, and overall energy efficiency. The glass wall, initially conceived as a means to connect us seamlessly to the outside world, is ironically becoming a barrier to achieving genuine comfort, environmental sustainability, and a truly productive workspace. Modern glazing undeniably offers aesthetic beauty and the promise of natural light, but it also brings forth a complex set of new choices that we must rethink to create truly sustainable and comfortable environments. Our reliance on glass and air conditioning has a major environmental cost. Buildings consume vast energy for heating and cooling, especially those with excessive glazing. More glass means more cooling, more fossil fuels, and more greenhouse gas emissions, fueling climate change. Glass performs poorly compared to insulated walls, losing heat in winter and gaining it in summer. The pursuit of a sleek aesthetic comes at the price of higher carbon emissions and energy strain. We must rethink our priorities, balancing visual appeal with environmental responsibility. The choices we make in architecture have real consequences for the planet. In response, a new movement in architecture picks up sustainability from its core of functionality. Green building rating systems like LEED and IGBC provide smarter, eco-friendly choices and guidelines from design to operation. These frameworks consider a building's entire life cycle, attempting to optimize elements like window openings for promoting energy efficiency, health, and comfort. By meeting the prescribed standards for window placement, sizes, and indoor air quality, green buildings have lesser complications, higher value for living, and support corporate responsibility. These systems are shaping a new generation of architects and builders, making sustainability mainstream. The future of construction is green, driven by innovation and responsibility. Green building standards get specific about windows and facades. The window-to-wall ratio, WWR, is key. Too much glass leads to energy loss. Too little limits daylight. High-performance glazing is essential. U-value measures insulation. SHGC measures solar heat gain. The right glass, coatings, and orientation optimize comfort and efficiency. Daylighting design aims for quality light, not just quantity, reducing artificial lighting and glare. Operable windows and natural ventilation are encouraged for comfort and control. External shading, overhangs, fins, louvres, blocks unwanted heat before it enters. By balancing these factors, we create facades that are both beautiful and sustainable. As we increasingly embrace sleek, expansive glass facades in modern architecture, driven by desires for light and views, we risk inadvertently losing the character, the human touch that was so beautifully embodied in traditional windows. These older windows weren't just openings, they were crafted irreplaceable elements that contributed to the soul of a building. Historic windows offered a sense of proportion, carefully considered in relation to the building's overall design, detail in their joinery and embellishments, and a profound sense of place, reflecting the local building traditions and aesthetic sensibilities. They excelled at connecting the interior and exterior in meaningful ways, framing views and creating a visual dialogue with the surrounding environment. The quality of light admitted was also carefully considered. Operable windows once provided natural ventilation, allowing for fresh air and a degree of environmental control that modern sealed buildings often lack. Now, in the pursuit of energy efficiency, many windows are sealed shut, preventing natural airflow. This reliance on artificial climate control is increasing energy use and, perhaps more subtly, disconnecting us from the rhythms and benefits of nature. Traditional windows were also deeply connected to local climate and culture, adapting in design and materials to suit specific regional needs and available resources, giving cities and towns unique architectural identities that reflected their history and environment. However, the global trend towards standardized generic glass facades, driven by cost and efficiency, threatens this rich diversity and our innate sense of belonging to a particular place. Modern buildings may initially appear efficient in their design and construction, but they can often feel anonymous, impersonal, and ultimately disconnected from the human experience. As we move forward, we must remember and actively champion the enduring value of craftsmanship, operability for natural ventilation, and the importance of preserving regional character in our built environment. The window is far more than just a simple pane of glass. It's a critical element. It's a vital bridge connecting people to their surroundings, fostering a sense of place and well-being. Preserving this richness, this connection to our past and to our environment, is absolutely vital as we design and build for the future. The future of architecture lies in balance, embracing innovation while honoring timeless design wisdom. We must use glass thoughtfully, blending it with solid walls, shading, and orientation for comfort and sustainability. A well-placed and optimally sized window can be more powerful than a wall of glass, framing views and enhancing well-being. Green building principles and advanced technologies give us the tools to design light-filled, energy-efficient spaces. The goal is buildings that feel good, connect us to our surroundings, and tread lightly on the earth. The window remains central, providing light, air, and a meaningful connection to the world. By designing with intention, we create architecture that is beautiful, humane, and responsible. The next generation must forge this new balance, enriching lives without compromising the planet.